Chapter 6, in which Fidget Squidgy's house blows down and Sasha and Dave build her a new one. It was a very blusterous day in Fidget Forest. Sasha and Dave were in the house having breakfast together, wondering what they were going to do. The wind wasn't going to put them off going outside, but they felt like it was just the day for going into somebody's house and that person saying, "Hello, Sasha and Dave, would you like something to eat?" And Sasha saying, "Oh, I wouldn't mind something to eat, wouldn't you, Dave?" And it was that kind of day when you wanted to go into somebody's house. But they wondered who they were going to see, so they sat down at breakfast. Dave said to Sasha, "What I think we should go and see Shannon, because Shannon might be lonely and might want somebody to come and keep her company and come and have a cup of tea with her or something." "What I think," said Sasha, "is we should go and see Fadsy, only she won't be there, so we can't." "Let's go and see everybody," said Dave, "because when you've been walking in the wind for a long, long time and it's so blusterous and blowy, and you go into somebody's house and they say, 'Hi, Sasha and Dave, how are you?' and you say, 'I'm fine, thank you, can I have a hot chocolate, please?' then it's what I call a friendly sort of day." Sasha thought that they ought to have a reason for going to see everybody, like wondering what Fadsy's doing in the mornings, or searching for something in the forest, or organising a picnic if Dave could think of something. Dave could. "We'll go because it's Thursday," said Dave, "and we'll go to wish everybody a very happy Thursday. Come on, Sasha." So they went off together. When Sasha had sat down, because she didn't realise that the wind was so strong, and been helped up by Dave, they set off. The wind was blowing right in their faces and almost pulling them in all sorts of different directions, as it normally does on such a windy day. But they didn't care. They weren't going to follow where the wind was taking them. They were going to go into a completely different direction. They went to Sophie's house first, and they knocked very cheerfully on Sophie's door. Sophie opened the door and smiled happily at them. "Hello, Sasha and Dave. What a blusterous day it is outside." "Oh, very," said Sasha, who was kind of wishing she was back in her house, but didn't mind all the same. It was more fun going into somebody's house and getting a nice, warm, friendly welcome than it was being back in your own house, sitting there wondering what to do with yourself. So, in they went, even though it was so windy. They went there and sat by the fire to keep themselves warm. Sophie had a lovely fire lit, and Sasha and Dave wished that they had a fire, but hadn't quite had one built yet. "We've come to wish you a very happy Thursday," said Dave, after a long silence looking at the fire. "Oh," said Sophie, "wow, happy Thursday to you too. What's so special about Thursday?" Dave explained, and Sophie said, "Wow, it's just very nice to see you anyway. I don't understand it completely, but it's so nice to see you. Would you like to stay for a drink?" "Oh, we will," said Sasha. Sophie was so pleased to see them that they stayed there for a very long time, having a drink, some biscuits, and feeling very welcome, and sitting by the fire and watching it move slowly. Then Sasha said carelessly, we'd best be getting on, Sophie. Oh, must you? Said Sophie. You sure you wouldn't like any more to drink? No, see, we're going to see everybody, you see, said Dave. You know, we don't want to leave you behind, but we really best be getting on, and it's so cold. I know, said Sophie. That's fine. Just, you know, take care in the wind. We will, said Sasha. We will, said Dave. And off they went. But the wind was so strong that Sasha and Dave couldn't even talk to each other. They were shouting, "Isn't it?" and "Sorry?" and "What did you say?" By the time they got to Fidget Widget Hayash's house, they were so buffeted that they stayed till lunch. It seemed rather cold outside afterwards, so they pushed on to Queen Fidget Widget Hayash's house as quickly as they could, without even talking to each other because the wind was so strong and they couldn't even hear what they were saying. And they hurried on, trying to chase the wind that was trying to pull them in a different direction and land them in a tree. They knocked on the door of Queen Fidget Widget Hayash's house very cheerfully. But as usual, Queen Fidget Widget Hayash's mind was made up of important things and was busy in her study doing her work, and not very happy that she had the fidgets knocking at their door. But still, she knew she had to answer anyway. So, she came out of her study as hurriedly as she could and opened the door. "Hello," said Sasha, very happily. "Hi," said Queen Fidget Widget Hayash, starting to feel a bit happy when they saw it was Sasha and Dave. Sasha and Dave came in and closed the door to keep the wind out. They knew they wouldn't stay for long because they knew that Queen Fidget Widget Hayash had jobs to do and wouldn't be getting on. And wanted to be getting on. And to be quite honest with you, Sasha and Dave wanted to be getting on as well. "We've come to wish you a very happy Thursday," said Dave. "Why?" said Queen Fidget Widget Hayash. "What's going to happen on Thursday?" And when Dave explained, and Queen Fidget Widget Hayash, being the queen and head of the forest, and mind was made up of important things, said, "Oh, I thought you really come about something. Well, if you didn't come about anything in particular and special, then please don't bother knocking on my door. I have got rather a lot of work to do." And she sent them out hurriedly. Sasha and Dave didn't even say goodbye, but had this funny feeling that Queen Fidget Widget Hayash didn't want to talk to them anymore, and off they went. The wind was behind them now, so they didn't have to shout, which was good for Sasha and Dave because they really wanted to talk to each other about this. "I don't understand why Queen Fidget Widget Hayash is like this," said Sasha. "I know," said Dave. "I think she's just a bit stressed out because she's the queen." "It's not that there's anything special about Thursdays," said Sasha. "We just think that Thursdays is a good day to be happy. And if anybody's not happy on a Thursday, well, there must be something wrong with them." "I know," said Dave. "But Queen Fidget Widget Hayash doesn't think like that, does she?" "Unfortunately not," said Sasha. "I really wish she did." Fadzi was at home now because it was the afternoon. So, they knocked on the door of Fadzi's house, and Fadzi was so glad to see them that they stayed there until very nearly tea time, and then they had a very nearly tea. And then they went on to Fidget Widget Thunder's house before it was too late to have a proper tea with Fidget Squidgy. Fidget Squidgy was a good friend of Sasha's, and for that reason and that reason only, Sasha really wanted to have tea with Fidget Squidgy because she hadn't really spoke to Fidget Squidgy much in ages. There were so many fidgets in the forest, it was hard to get round them all, and she felt that she really ought to make an effort to see Fidget Squidgy and to have tea with her, and Dave thought so too, because Dave thought that he hadn't really had much to do with Fidget Squidgy either, and would like to see Fidget Squidgy and Sasha chatting very nicely to each other. So they knocked at the door of Fidget Widget Thunder's house. Fidget Widget Thunder was busy reading a magazine at the time. She was staying away from the wind because she didn't want to get blown, and she didn't want it to be all blusterous and all horrible. She came out of her house, and there were Sasha and Dave, looking like they were being blown by the wind. "Hello, Sasha," said Fidget Widget Thunder. "Hello, Dave. Do come in." They came inside and realised that Fidget Widget Thunder didn't have a fire either, so that made them feel a little bit more happier. Sasha sat down next to Fidget Widget Thunder, and Dave sat on a chair between them. "We've come to wish you a very happy Thursday," said Dave. "Oh," said Fidget Widget Thunder. "Well, happy Thursday to you too. How are you finding this wind?" "I actually quite like it," said Sasha, "but I don't know if Dave really does." "Not that keen," said Dave. I don't know how you can like the wind. I hate winter anyway." "I just hope that a tree doesn't get blown down," said Fidget Widget Thunder. "There are lots of trees around here, and it looks like it's going to any second." "Well, if it does," said Dave, "who's going to build it back up again?" "Very good question," said Fidget Widget Thunder, "in which I wish I could answer. But actually, to be quite honest with you, I don't have a very good answer to that question." "No, I get you," said Dave. "Well, Fidget Widget Thunder," said Dave at last, "we better be going now, so as we've got 3 more people to see, so that until we have a proper tea with Fidget Squidgy." "All right then," said Fidget Widget Thunder. "Well, thank you for happening to pass me. And mind you don't get blown away, Sasha. You'd be missed. People would say, 'Where's Sasha been blown to?' really wanting to know. And Dave would spend ages trying to find you." "Yeah, I would," said Dave. "There's no doubt about that." "Well, goodbye," they said, as legally as they could. They really had a long way to go and had to be getting on. The wind was getting so strong now. Sasha was scared that a tree might blow down after Fidget Widget Thunder said such things, and held on tight to Dave. "Don't worry, Sasha," said Dave. "I don't know why Fidget Widget Thunder says things like that." And the wind was blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing, and very, 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 very blusterous, and almost knocking all the trees down. And the leaves were falling off the trees anyway, because it was autumn time and it was that time of year, and Sasha could feel them crunching under her feet, which actually she quite liked. And she said to Dave, "I don't mind. As long as nobody's house gets blown down, that's fine." And they were knocking at the door of Shannon's house. Shannon lived by a tree, and she hated the wind, and she hated watching all the trees go this way and that, this way and that. And she felt that as soon as she opened the door, the wind could take her in any direction. But she opened it, and when she saw it was Sasha and Dave, she felt as if she wasn't going to go with the wind, was going to stand there and wait for something good to happen. "Hello, Shannon," said Sasha. "Hello, Sasha. Hello, Dave," said Shannon. "Oh, what a windy day. I hate it." "Me too," said Dave. "Oh, how can you two moan about the wind?" said Sasha. "I love it." "Don't know how you can possibly love it, Sash," said Shannon. "It's all windy and blusterous and oh." "Anyway," said Dave, "we can't stay long. It's tea time soon." "Yeah, indeed it is," said Shannon. I better make myself something. You seen much of Queen Fidget Widget High Ash today? Not really, said Sasha. Well, we saw her, but she was very stressed. As usual, said Shannon. We've been round everybody, you see, said Dave, wishing everybody a very happy Thursday, and we've come to wish you one too. Oh, thank you, said Shannon. Happy Thursday too. I was just thinking of making myself some bread rolls. You guys don't want to have tea with me? We still got Amanda and Freddie to see, and then we're going to have tea with Fidget Squidgy, said Dave. But no, thank you for asking. Maybe tomorrow. That's fine, said Shannon. If you want, I'll save you a bread roll and you can come round mine tomorrow. Thank you, said Sasha and Dave together, and off they went. The wind was still blowy, so they pushed off to Amanda and Freddie's house as quickly as they could. The fact of the wind being behind them was no longer there, and it was constantly in front of them, blowing, 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 blowing. Sasha didn't even know where she was going and was worried she might get blown away, so this time she held on even tighter to Dave. And Dave said don't worry, but the wind was blowing in Sasha's ear that Sasha didn't hear him. They knocked to the door of Amanda and Freddie's house, and Dave looked out the window and became jealous. He saw Amanda and Freddie's very toasty fire, and he thought that he would just like to sit by it. Now Amanda and Freddie were also watching TV, but when they looked out the window and saw it was Sasha and Dave, they both opened the door. Hi, said Amanda. Oh, we better come in, it's so windy, said Dave. Poor Sasha has got the wind blowing in her ears and she can't even hear. So they came in and closed the door to keep the wind out. Oh, it's such a blusterous day today, isn't it? Said Freddie. Haven't been blown away yet, have you, Sasha? No, said Sasha, who was feeling very serious now and wished that people would stop saying that to her, how she would hate to get blown away and lose all her friends in the forest and not know where she is. We've come to wish you a very happy Thursday, said Dave, changing the subject completely and moving on. Wow, said Amanda. Happy Thursday to you too. And Freddie, don't tease Sasha like that. Freddie wasn't listening. Freddie's eyes was absolutely glued to the TV. This is the trouble with Freddie, said Amanda. He gets focused on the TV and his eyes are glued to it and he doesn't listen to anyone. I realise that, said Sasha. Do you know what? That's why I decide not to bother him anymore. I don't want to disturb him while he is watching TV. No, neither do I, said Amanda. That's why I don't bother anymore as well. I know that Freddie won't want to talk while he's watching TV, so I just think, well, what's the point? I know, said Dave. It is one of those things, isn't it? Wow, said Sasha. I understand what that's like. Dave can get a bit like that as well. And she suddenly noticed that Dave had his eyes glued to the TV as well. Oh my goodness, said Amanda. Men, who would have them? I know, said Sasha. Well, I wouldn't lose my precious Dave. He's the precious thing in the world to me. And Freddie's mine, said Amanda. Anyway, Dave, said Sasha, tapping Dave and hurrying him along, we must go. Yes, we're going to see Fidget Squidgy now, said Dave. Oh, that's good, said Amanda. So off they went, walking through the forest, past all the trees, Sasha holding on tight to Dave all the time, because although she said she'd like the wind, it was starting to get so strong that she was starting to get a bit scared of it, and now wishing she was safely back in her own house. Fidget Squidgy lived by a tree as well, and actually Fidget Squidgy lived right near the biggest ash tree. So Sasha began to think that Fidget Squidgy's house may blow down. They checked that the house was still there by going over to the front door just to make sure it hadn't been blown down already. And luckily, it was. So they knocked at the door. Fidget Squidgy was sat listening to the wind. She quite liked it, but the only reason she liked it was because she was safely in her house and she could listen to it. She didn't like being out in it. She got scared of her house blowing down and was so pleased to have some company. She opened the door and there was Sasha and Dave. "Come in," she said loudly, because the wind was so strong and she knew that Sasha and Dave wouldn't be able to hear her. They came in as quickly as they could and sat down by the fire, which Fidget Squidgy prepared for them. "Hello Sasha, hello Dave. Make yourselves comfortable." "Oh yes, we will," said Dave. "Sasha and I came to see you because it's Thursday." "Oh, what a lovely day to come and see me," said Fidget Squidgy. "If only it wasn't such a blusterous one." "Hey, I know," said Dave. "I wish it wasn't as well. Am I right in saying it's so blusterous outside? I haven't been outside yet, but I've heard the wind," said Fidget Squidgy. "You are right," said Sasha, who was now wishing even more that she was back in her own house. Didn't want to spoil it for Dave, so she was trying really hard to keep calm and happy. "Wow," said Fidget Squidgy. "We wondered if we could have tea with you," said Sasha. "Oh, by all means, of course you can," said Fidget Squidgy. "I'd love some company, someone to have tea." "We've been hurrying so that we can have tea with you," said Dave. Suddenly, there was a loud cracking noise. "What was that?" asked Fidget Squidgy. The room that Fidget Squidgy was in began to crash. The door, Fidget Squidgy's front door, began to crash as well and fall right on top of Sasha. Fidget Squidgy's table fell right on top of Dave, and Fidget Squidgy's chair fell right on top of Dave as well, and all her other chairs that she had been piling up under the table was now sat right on top of Dave. The rug that Fidget Squidgy had had for a long time fell right on top of Sasha, just as Sasha was thinking about leaving it there. And then Sasha's chair fell right on the floor, and Sasha ended up on the floor, not anywhere near Dave, but right under a table. Then the table rolled itself across the room, the mantelpiece fell down and the clock fell down with it, and so did Fidget Squidgy's big china cup. And then the ceiling, which Fidget Squidgy had always had, fell down too. The wall fell down, and soon everything was a big heap on the floor. Fidget Squidgy's letters, which Fancy had written for her and given to her, fell down too, and fell down right on top of the rug, and was going to meet Sasha's chair. Just as Sasha was thinking it will stay there forever. And suddenly, everyone began to wonder where they were, and everything was in a huge heap on the floor, and Dave was hidden under some chairs. Worst of all, the tablecloth that Fidget Squidgy had fell down too and fell right on top of Sasha, and then Sasha was squished under some tables and a tablecloth, being as far as possible from Dave. Then there was silence. Fidget Squidgy slithered up past the letters to look at her new ceiling, which, wow, didn't seem as nice as the old one, but she didn't care. She was going to look at it anyway. And there was Dave underneath some chairs, and there was Sasha, not being able to see Dave, but being able to see just a pile of chairs. But she was pretty much sure that Dave was there anyway. So she called out to him. "Dave," she said. "Yeah," said one of the chairs. "Where are we?" asked Sasha. "I don't know," said one of the chairs. "Are we in Fidget Squidgy's house?" asked Sasha. "I think so, because we were just going to have tea and we hadn't had it yet," said Dave. "Oh," said Sasha. "Well, these letters that are on the floor by me, has Fidget Squidgy always had those?" "Has she?" asked Dave. "Yes," said Sasha. "Look." "I can't," said Dave. "I am face downwards under a chair and I'm stuck there and I can't get up. And that, Sasha, is a very bad position for looking at letters and you." "Well, she has, Dave," said Sasha. "Perhaps she's changed it," said Dave. "Everybody likes a change now and then." There was a disturbance behind them, and Fidget Squidgy was with them again. "Oh, Sasha," said Fidget Squidgy, sitting down next to Sasha as much as she possibly could. "Where's Dave?" "I don't know," said Dave. Fidget Squidgy frowned at Dave, but actually she wasn't frowning at Dave because Dave was hidden under some chairs. She was actually frowning at the chairs, but was very unsure where Dave was, but just frowned at his voice and where his voice was coming from. And actually, Dave couldn't see her frowning, because he was underneath. "Dave," said Fidget Squidgy sharply, "did you do that?" "No," said Dave. "I didn't. Don't blame me. What are you blaming me for?" "Then who did it?" asked Fidget Squidgy, really wanting to know why her house was all messed up. "I think it was the wind," said Sasha. "I think your house has been blown down." "Oh," said Fidget Squidgy. "Great, same thing happened last winter." "Well, I'm sorry, Dave. I blamed you. I thought perhaps it was you that done it, but now I won't blame you. I'll blame the wind." And with these kind words, she slithered up to look at her new ceiling again. Dave was still underneath the chairs and was half asleep and was not really understanding or following what Fidget Squidgy was talking about, was actually dreaming happily. "Sasha," said Dave from underneath the chairs. Sasha leant down to Dave, but still couldn't see him very well. "Yes, Dave," she called, hoping that he was still there. "What did Fidget Squidgy say? What was she talking about?" asked Dave. "I mean, what have I done?" "Don't worry, Dave," said Sasha. She didn't mean to blame you, and she did apologise. She said it wasn't your fault after all, it was the wind. And she won't blame you anymore, she will blame the wind. And that's why she has gone, because she has felt sorry for herself. Oh, I see, said Dave. Sasha could see that Dave was stuck and called for Fidget Squidgy. Fidget Squidgy, called Sasha. Yeah, shouted Fidget Squidgy from up her ceiling. Come down and help Dave, said Sasha. So down came Fidget Squidgy. Together they pushed and pulled, and soon Dave was out from underneath the chairs and with them again. Dave looked at Sasha, and Sasha looked at Dave. What are we going to do, Dave? Asked Sasha. Fidget Squidgy's house has been blown down, and now we can't even get out. Can you think of something? Well, I had thought of something, said Dave, but I didn't think it was a very good idea, so I forgot about it, and now it's gone out of my head and I can't even remember what it was. Because we can't get out by the front door. Something's fallen on it, said Sasha. How else can we go out? Said Fidget Squidgy. Where am I going to sleep tonight? What am I going to do? Well, you're right, said Sasha. The same thing happened last time. And I could build a new one for you, but I just feel sorry that you have to live by the tree. And because you have to live right by the tree, your house is blown down. How can we stabilise it? Asked Fidget Squidgy. Shannon lives by a tree, and her house doesn't blow down as much as mine does. Wow, said Sasha. That is a good question, and I wish I had a good answer, but unfortunately, I don't. And I just think that maybe it's just one of those things. Can't be helped. You know what I mean? I do, said Fidget Squidgy. I do know exactly what you mean. And, you know, I'm sorry to mess you about and stuff. You know, I really didn't want this to happen this winter. You'd already built me a house last winter. Don't worry, said Dave. Me and Sasha will build you another one, won't we, Sasha? Yes, indeed. Anything for you, Fancy, said Sasha. Anything for you, Fidget Squidgy, said Sasha. Thank you, said Fidget Squidgy. And what about my letterbox? What are we going to do about that? Well, I'm sure if we are very kind and build you a new house, said Sasha, Fancy will get some new letters for you, but I don't know about the letterbox. So they got some sticks and they built Fidget Squidgy's house. And Dave went round to Queen Fidget Widget Highash and asked Queen Fidget Widget Highash if he could borrow her letterbox. And Queen Fidget Widget Highash, despite how stressed she was kind enough to say yes. So Dave did. Soon it was finished. Fidget Squidgy had a stabled house again. But Queen Fidget Widget Highash had promised Dave, and Dave had told Fidget Squidgy that before next winter they will have a meeting to discuss moving Fidget Squidgy far, far away from the tree, because none of these houses that were being